Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing okay out there. Welcome to Ghost 2.0, where the shadows whisper and the unknown knocks at your door. Today, I've got a bone-chilling tale sent to us by a Maz from the UK. He claims this story haunted his family for generations, and after reading it, I believe him. If you got a ghost story or a brush with the supernatural, send it our way via text or voice note. Let's dive into a Maz's nightmare. In 1983, my great-aunt Clara moved to Raven's End, a forgotten village nestled in the moors of Yorkshire. She'd inherited a crumbling estate called Hallowwick House, a place locals avoided. The land's cursed, they'd say. The hollow children still play there. On her first night, Clara heard laughter echoing through the halls, giggles that turned to wails. She followed the sound to a boarded-up nursery. Behind the door, faint scratches like tiny fingers dragging over wood. When she pried it open, she found a dollhouse, its miniature rooms filled with faceless porcelain dolls, and written in ash on the floor, "We want faces." Clara fled, but the next morning, the dollhouse sat on her bed. One doll now had a face, hers, carved in perfect detail. Stay with us. The horror's just beginning. Days passed. Clara found more dolls, each resembling a child from old village photos. The librarian revealed Raven's End's dark past. In the 1800s, a plague struck the children. Desperate, parents made a pact with a physician who promised a cure. Instead, he hollowed their bodies, filling them with ash to preserve their souls. The dolls? Vessels for their trapped spirits. One night, Clara woke to a cold hand gripping her ankle. The dolls surrounded her bed, their hollow eyes oozing black sludge. The smallest one whispered, "You'll be our new mother." She screamed, but her voice was gone. In the mirror, her reflection, smiling without lips. What happens when the hollow children choose you? We'll unravel the curse after the break. Clara burned the dollhouse. Big mistake. That night, the nursery walls bled ash, forming tiny handprints that dragged her into the attic. There, she found the physician's journal. His final entry: the children hunger for flesh to replace their hollow bones. The dolls reappeared, now life-sized, their porcelain cracked, revealing ash-stuffed throats. They chanted, "Give us your face, Mother." Clara's skin began peeling, her cheeks floating toward the smallest doll. She leapt from the attic window, but the villagers found her body empty. No organs, just ash. And now, the twist you won't see coming. Years later, I inherited Hallowwick. Skeptical, I spent a night there. At 3 a.m., giggles erupted. In the nursery, the dollhouse was back. Inside, a new doll me. Then a knock. A child's voice pleaded, "Let us in, brother." I opened the door. Sound effect, door creaking. They swarmed me. Ash-faced children with hollow eyes. But instead of attacking, they sobbed. "We're lost. Help us rest." The journal hinted at a ritual. Bury the dolls in the village cemetery at dawn. I raced against time, digging graves as the children's ash bodies crumbled. The smallest one handed me Clara's locket. "Thank you," she mouthed, vanishing. I thought it was over. Until last week. My infant daughter's nursery camera caught a shadowy figure humming an old lullaby. Zooming in, I saw it. A doll with Clara's face, holding a tiny shovel. The screen glitched. Now, my daughter giggles at nothing. And this morning, I found ash footprints leading to her crib. A Maz ended his story with a plea. If you hear children laughing in the dark, run. Chilling stuff, right? If you've encountered the unexplainable, reach out at ghostwhispers@radio.com. Until next time, keep the lights on. This is Ghost 2.0 signing off. Hello again, night owls. Welcome to Ghost 2.0, where the dark isn't empty. It's watching. Tonight's story comes from Lena in Oregon, who survived a night in the abandoned Blackwood Asylum. Lena, if you're listening, I'm not sure I'd have your courage. To everyone else, if you met the unseen, send your tale. Now, let's step into the asylum. Blackwood Asylum closed in 1972 after patients and staff vanished overnight. Lena, a paranormal investigator, broke in at midnight, Her flashlight flickered as she entered the lobby. Rotting chairs, shattered glass, and fresh handprints on the walls. A voice hissed through a recorder. They're still here, in the walls. She reached the third floor when her cameraman, Jake, froze. Do you hear that? A wet, gurgling chant echoed. Cut. Them. Out! Lena's light died. In the darkness, something scraped the walls, like bones dragging through plaster. When the light returned, Jake was gone. Only his camera remained, recording static. What's hiding in the walls? The truth is worse than you think. Lena played Jake's footage. The static cleared to show a pale face pressed against the wall behind him, mouth sewn shut, eyes bleeding. She ran, but every door led back to the third floor. A child's laugh echoed. In a treatment room, she found restraints coated in rust or dried blood. A shadow lunged. Lena smashed a window, climbing onto the roof. Below, the asylum courtyard was filled with figures, patients in gowns, staring up at her. Their mouths moved in unison. Join us. Then the roof tiles cracked. Hundreds of skeletal hands burst through, clawing at her ankles. Will Lena escape? Don't breathe yet. Lena fell through the roof into a hidden operating theater. Surgical tools hung above a stained table. A journal lay open. Patient number 42. Extraction failed. The voices are in his bones now. A projector flickered, showing footage of doctors cutting into patients' skulls to remove living shadows. A cold breath touched Lena's neck. She turned. Jake stood there, his mouth sewn shut, eyes black. He grabbed her, but she stabbed him with a scalpel. Black sludge oozed from his wounds, forming words on the floor. You're next. The asylum's curse is alive, and it's hungry. Lena followed whispers to the basement. A massive iron door read, Quarantine, do not open. Inside, walls pulse like flesh. A shadowy mass with countless hands slithered toward her. It spoke with Jake's voice. They tried to cut us out, but we're the asylum now. The floor dissolved. Lena plunged into a cavern filled with fused bodies. Patients and doctors melded into the walls. Their screams harmonized. Stay with us forever. She grabbed a flare, igniting the oily sludge. The cavern shrieked as flames spread. Is this the end? Or a worse beginning? Lena woke in the courtyard at dawn. The asylum was gone, just charred ruins. Police found her covered in ash, clutching a nurse's badge engraved number 42. They dismissed her story until she played Jake's camera. The footage showed her alone, screaming at empty walls. But in the background, shadows moved. Now, Lena hears scratching at her apartment walls every night. Doctors' voices whisper, You brought us home. Last week, her roommate vanished. On Lena's wall, a message in ash, Thank you for the new host. If you dare investigate the unexplained, email us, but be warned. This is Ghost 2.0. Stay haunted.